Hey guys, Sean here at Vulcan Performance. Today we're going to talk about another highly misunderstood topic. It's a topic that everybody knows that you need, but just how much and is it really that important? And that is hydration. Hydration is key in any type of performance. So we talked a while back on sleep. If you want to increase your performance, you just need to go to sleep. If you want to increase your performance almost instantaneously, get some good sleep and drink some water. It'll take you about a week to get back on a good cycle, and water even less than that. So right off the bat, it only makes sense. Your brain is made up of water. It's 3/4 water. Therefore, if you're not drinking enough water to satisfy 75% of your brain, then your brain literally shrinks. Your capacity to learn, capacity to share knowledge and connective tissue and synapses to go off in your brain decreases because it doesn't have enough water. There's not enough lubricant in the engine to make it run smoothly. They've done several studies on water, and in fact, they have found that if you are 1% dehydrated, then your VO2 max, your body's ability to use oxygen, decreases by 11%. That is dramatic. Guys, on that VO2 max, some incredible study, they took 8 subjects, walked them on a treadmill. All the subjects, all 8 of them who were hydrated properly or euhydrated, they all completed the walk. They all completed the treadmill walk, and it took them all 140 minutes to complete it. Well, when they dehydrated them, just 5% dehydration. None of the participants finished, and on average, they quit around the 64-minute mark. Pretty remarkable considering that's only 5% dehydration. So if you're slightly dehydrated, you could feel slightly more confused, your mood could change, you could start getting really fatigued and maybe start getting hungry. But as you become more and more dehydrated, those symptoms increase pretty exponentially. You get very hungry, you actually pass the state of hunger to where you're just extremely tired, you can't make a decision, your mood drops, your cognition levels are very low. But the beautiful thing about water is if you drink it, basically instantaneously, in about 20 minutes, even if you're severely dehydrated, you start feeling better. You start noticing changes in your cognition and how you walk through life. Drinking 16 ounces of water raises your metabolic rate by 30%, which is incredible. And that's almost instantaneous. It's not you drink 16 ounces of water and you gotta wait 3 or 4 hours. You drink 16 ounces of water and then 20 to 30 minutes later, your metabolic rate's increasing. So you can be severely hydrated, but if you just get some water in you can change your game a whole lot. You're saying to yourself, oh, I drink water, I'm probably not that dehydrated. The average American gets about 50 to 60 ounces of water a day on average. And the human body needs around 90 ounces. That's if you're sedentary. You need about 90 ounces of water a day just to keep your metabolic rate on par. So if you're active, if you're a runner, if you're a rower, if you do CrossFit, anything like that where you're sweating a lot and you're putting high energy output, then you need more water. You probably need somewhere in that realm of 110 ounces of water a day, or you're gonna start hitting that dehydration phase and your mood changes. You can't sustain performance as long. Your mental capacity shrinks. How to stay hydrated. I cannot overstate the effects that water or lack of water has on the body. There's some research out there that states that 85% of headaches occur because we're dehydrated. That can be from lack of water in the brains, where you just don't have enough lubricant to decrease friction in the brain, or it could be from the fact that if you're dehydrated, you don't have nearly as much water in your muscles. There's not enough water in your bloodstream to get it to the muscles to give them what they need. So therefore, you start having some muscle strains, cramping occurs. Dehydration is the #1 cause of cramping in your body. So when dehydration occurs, you start having strains, and there's such a thing as cervicogenic headache, to where many of your muscles get very tight, they lock up, they can't operate nearly as efficiently as they could before. So if that happens anywhere around the base of your skull or around your neck, that can definitely lead to a headache. As far as your body goes, as far as muscle goes, a lot of protein to operate. That's something that we often get in the performance world. Make sure you get all your protein. But more so than that, it's water. Your muscles are 70% water. They need that to operate at all, regardless of the protein you have in your system. I keep on coming back to that word lubricant, lubrication. That's because water is the lubrication of the body, of the brain and the body. Many of our joints have what we call synovial fluid. Synovial fluid allows proper sliding and gliding of those joints, and synovial fluid is practically water of your joints. So if you're dehydrated, synovial fluids decrease, you start having osteoarthritis, a lot of friction develops everywhere in your body, but especially the joints and in the brain as well. So you ask, how can I tell if I'm hydrated or not? Well, obviously, if you carry around the container that tells you how many ounces of water you're drinking a day, and the container says, I don't know, 30 ounces, and if you drink 4 of those a day, you're getting 120 ounces. You're probably doing pretty well water-wise. But just in case, there are a couple ways that you can eyeball it. They're not highly efficient, but if you put them all together, they become a little more accurate. So for one is the color of urination. If you're peeing very yellow water, that could be an indicator that you're dehydrated. It may not be, but it could, coupled with some other things. And some other things are the odor. If you have a very pungent smelling urine, I hate talking about all this, but that could be another indicator that you're dehydrated. So couple that with the color. And also your frequency of urination, how much you pee. If you're only peeing 2 or 3 times a day, you're probably dehydrated. But if you're going somewhere between 6, 7, 8, even 9 times a day, that may be getting adequate water intake. Also, you can check to see if you're dehydrated by what's called the skin turgor test. So basically what you do is you can pinch the skin on the back of your hand, and if when you release, that skin kind of stays up here and slowly goes away, that may mean you're dehydrated. It's supposed to show up when you hit 5% dehydration. You guys, that is hydration in a nutshell. I want to increase your performance, mental capacity when you're going throughout your day, when you're making decisions, when you're interacting with people, then drink water and sleep. Those are the 2 biggest tips I can give you. And you'll see changes very quickly and they'll be dramatic. So guys, have a good day. We'll see you next time.